April 1996. India, the world's largest democracy, went to the polls in the midst of a very tenuous and uncertain political climate. The world focused attention on this nation and waited with bated breath for the outcome. It would have an impact on the nation, on the world. At the same time, Thursday, the 25th of April, dawned on the city of Bangalore in South India on the unfolding of another historic event. Thousands of children arrived from Asia and from all over the world for the first ever International Convention of Working Children. Little hands had carried little bundles and had traveled for days. Some had hitchhiked over miles. They arrived, faces tired, yet expectant, hoping that their voices would be heard, that they would have an impact on the future. This Indian general election was not fought on any issues, and even the earlier hazy ideological stances were submerged in desperate, unholy political alliances. Even issues such as the price of food grains, loans, housing, employment, corruption, or reservation for the weaker sections, the slogans of yesteryears were glaringly absent. In this context, the International Convention of Working Children took on a deep significance. These working children epitomized all that was wrong with the system. They had been truly marginalized, the truly forgotten, the unaccounted, unregistered future, relegated to feed off the skimpy programs and infrastructure provided by the unconcerned state. And it was they who had come together to find ways out of this systemic mess. Even after 5 decades of India's independence, there has been little progress in addressing the child labor issue. The numbers have grown at an alarming rate in India and elsewhere.
बाल मजदूर बाबू बाल मजदूर, हम मजदूरी करके जीते, हम माँ बाप को हमने छोड़ तो दिया, भारत की गलियों में फिर रह गया, सब कुछ हम सीखा सिवा प्यार के.
Asia accounts for the largest child labor population in the world, and yet Asian countries are slow to recognize the political and socio-economic significance of this issue.
అగరు బత్తి లెక్క కాలిపోయినా సిల్క్ ఫ్యాక్టరీ సిల్క్ గుడ్డి పట్టు గుడ్డి నీళ్ళేసి కాలి సిల్కు సీర పట్టు సీర సీర చేసి దొరలకిచ్చి సిరిగిన సింపుల్లో మీరు బతికిన
For the organizers, the convention was a chance to make a dream come true. The opportunity to fulfill a long-term commitment towards enabling working children's participation in the formulation of policies concerning themselves. The scale was challenging. It stretched the capacity of the organization to the maximum. Food, accommodation, sanitation, health, and security were the priorities. For 5 days, these children had to be comfortable, happy, and safe. They had to be free to find themselves, to interact, to find each other, to seek answers to pertinent questions, and to demand that they be given a chance. 80 NGOs, 15 international observers, and 5,000 working children representing 13 countries participated in this great convention.
Many of the kids were very aware of their situation and very proud. And you could even see by the way they were talking, they were raising their heads and speaking out loud, and I found that very impressive.
Children cannot fight as individuals. We realize here that together we can face any challenges. In the pleasure of these 6 days, I am speechless.
The children themselves had very strong feelings about many issues concerning themselves. It was quite interesting to see how good they were to speak for themselves.
True, the children have understood the value of working together. It's a pleasure to see children interact without gender or other barriers.
Children understand how they can protect their rights and how they can map their own ways towards the light they now see.
I'm slowly understanding that the problem of working children is complex. I want to study more.
This convention of so many children paves the way for a strong working children's movement. The awareness of being a part of a larger group raises the self-confidence of the working children. They see how they can fight for what they want.
There were different groups of working children. A few had been a part of working children's unions. Some had experienced participation within their programs, but most had not been exposed to any form of organization or collective participation. For all these children, the convention meant the possibility of meeting other working children, of exchanging views and experiences, and of learning more about work and children. They realized that they were a part of a much larger group, experienced the power of collective strength, breaking down barriers of caste, gender, nationality, religion, language, and culture. Through this convention, more and more children decided to get together as working children's collectives. For Bhima Sangha and Bal Mazdoor Sangha, the only existing collectives in Asia, this convention was a reaffirmation of collective strength and an identification of a larger role in helping other children to form collectives. The convention had eye-openers for the non-government organizations also.
It is undoubtedly a praisable initiative. I am so much happy to join this summit because my organizational motive, ultimate goal is to build up the children's forum. I think that this type of summit help us to build up the children's forum.
Language not known, we have with our heart, we are able to inspire each other.
moment, how can we bring out in our own state? At present, I don't think we have in our state, but we'll try.
So I want to share my experience here to Japanese people so that we Japanese and both adults and children can be empowered there.
It's a very complex problem. I can't realize because I had a bit naive thought of how I thought it could be solved in just giving them some money and maybe helping them. It's a very complex problem which has to do with the family and the society, and not only with the state and what the state can do.
During the convention, the children did find their voices. Children were deeply incensed that working child delegates from Indonesia could not come as they could not get passports without identity cards, which are denied to street children. At the state, national and regional level meetings, several issues emerged. In general, the children were extremely critical of the infrastructure provided by the state, its quality, content, access, and relevance.
The schools don't work well. Nothing there is right. The teachers are not good. And it was hard at home. Don't go to school, they said. Go to work. Police there threaten us that they will put our children into the remand homes. Even if the children run away from there, after coming out, they'll be corrupted. There are many such children who have run away from remand homes.
Fuel is a problem. We go 35 kilometers for firewood. Sometimes the forest officers scold us and take away the firewood, our ropes and knives.
We have to go miles to get our rations. And when we go there, we lose the day's wages. We have to keep going there repeatedly.
We are harassed by everybody, clients, the police and even the older boys. The government promises we will do that, we will do this, but they don't do anything.
We agitated, demanding the government to provide us common lands and ration depots close by. The government does not listen.
The government may have projects for working children, but working children do not receive any direct help. It's routed through different organizations.
The government has done a little for school children, but it has done nothing for working children. We cannot wait for the government to solve all our problems.
We share our problems and discuss them. We arrive at some solutions which have to be passed on to the government. I hope we can find solutions to all problems and the government must respond to us. We demand it.
It has taken years of failure for those addressing the child labor issue to realize what Amir has felt in his guts, the significance of consulting the children themselves while formulating strategy. Even now, a few, if any at all, are concerned about the impact interventions have made on the children themselves. Most strategies have harmed the children. The boycott of products made by the children is a case in point.
All children will have to come to other sectors like construction. The employers will reduce the wages being paid now. Children will have no choice. If they question, they'll be exploited more or asked to leave.
और बच्चे अगर काम करने के लिए मना कर देंगे तो बोलेंगे तुम मत करो हमारे पास बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं.
Boycott is wrong. Those who talk of boycott should come to our country and help us to solve our problems.
Very difficult for a different country to come in and say, okay, this is what you're going to do. The local people will always know better how to deal with a problem. When I came here, there were a big disagreement in Norway whether boycott or not. I had decided that I wouldn't make up my mind until I came here, and it seems very much like boycott is not the solution.
This bill, which was passed in by the pressure of the American government, we are not in favor of this bill, which expel the working children from one environment, but they're employed in other places, like from garments, they went in other business, like in the informal sectors. We are in favor of gradual phase out, not immediately push them from the workplace.
We work as coolies. The elder coolies used to beat us. We thought that the adults are united. No one harms them. Even powerful people do not trouble them. We said, why can't we be united? We formed the Bal Mazdoor Union.
If we had our own forest, firewood would not be a problem. We could take what we want. We got together and we are now growing our forest on 20 acres. We have now motivated other villagers to have their own forests.
The villagers should propose plans for themselves. The government should endorse them. Government should be concerned about the children and their education. Working children should organize themselves. They should protect their rights and monitor progress.
Children's collective. Okay.
But not everyone is listening at present. Society and the media generally stayed indifferent to the vibrant goings-on at the convention. Instead, some responded more quickly to an attempt made by political vested interests to undermine the organizations involved. However, the response of the international media was the opposite. Those that were there paid significant attention to the children, their views, their aspirations, and their agendas. The convention was not fazed by this indifference of the local media. They proceeded with their deliberations with great seriousness. All the participating non-governmental organizations made an extra effort to make the event a success from all sides, and the final outcome was significant, both because of the maturity of the resolutions and the depth of understanding and insight.
Nothing will be achieved by us if we stay isolated. It's not enough if we just meet to have a good time. We must be united to demand and get our rights. We should form collectives and we should make working children in every village aware of their rights.
Our resolutions must not remain only on paper. Our collectives must agitate and fight for them.
By May 6th, the Indian elections were over. And so was the first International Convention of Working Children. Children wended their way back home, filled with the joy of new relationships, memories of bonds forged, of information and skills gained. They were buzzing with new agendas, ways of furthering the movement, and plans to take little steps to change their lives. From their first experience of being one with the vast sea of working children, they carried a dream. Only children can dream. As Tagore, the Indian poet, a Nobel laureate, wrote in the Gitanjali, "On the seashore of endless worlds, children meet. The infinite sky is motionless overhead, and the restless water is boisterous. On the seashore of endless worlds, children meet with shouts and dances. They build their houses with sand, and they play with empty shells. With withered leaves, they weave their boats and smilingly float them on the vast deep. Children have their play on the seashore of worlds. On the seashore of endless worlds is the great meeting of children.